Welcome, everybody, to our second session of our Cypher system campaign, our homebrew setting by Jesse, GM of the Dragon Fisters. I'll give you a quick rundown on our first session, which will be dropping on the AP feed if you're watching this live, actually on Monday. So we're on the ship, the Bitter Mother. Captain Draggart is the captain of the ship. He's, we'll say, good friends with air quotes with Decurro. Decurro's pulled Valos in to help oversee a shipment that's being coordinated by Milo. We're on our way up to I want to say High Meadow, but I know that's not right, Highland, to drop off the shipment to a general up there who is on the other side of the page. I don't see it. Commander Morin, who Valos knows is kind of a dickhead. While we were on the ship, we were approached by a woman who seems to have a little bit of a skin condition. She might have been in the sun too long. We're not really sure what's going on, but Myra joined in with us, and she had been drawn to Decurro and this weird thing that's happening under his skin. Seems like Decurro maybe also was out in the sun too long, so we're trying to unwrap that. Milo got Decurro to steal the Pivel, the first mate's ledger book from his room, so I'm sure nothing bad is going to come out of that. And we're still like maybe 3 weeks away from Highland, so I'm sure it'll be good. Oh, and Decurro got into a bar fight, which was a lot of fun. So
wasn't much of a fight. You can see the other guy.
This is the man who ran away. All right, so that's kind of where we left off, and I'll kick it over to Jesse. We'll get this game underway.
All right, so at this point, like John said, you guys are on the ship. It's you guys have just pretty much recently settled down to for nap time for the night. Decurro, you've just given Milo the ledger and basically parsing over a little bit. You head back to your bunk, pass out. Myra and Valos, you guys have already very much had a few drinks at the galley and then gone back and done the same. Couple of hours go by. Milo, I don't know, are you going over the ledger now, or are you just kind of being like, okay, got this, take a quick peruse and hit in the head?
I'm definitely looking through the book. Okay. I sleep very little.
Or then.
Oh no, did we lose Jesse already?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
All right. You got out so quickly. I was like,
no. So,
he's reading in silence. Get it right.
What is it that you're looking for in the book?
Whoever owns the cargo. It was like all that bulk shipment of the tech, but it was like interesting. It was the only one that you pointed out, really, during last session.
Okay. See, I believe that was that Vihorn?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know if we had a name.
Yeah, you didn't give any names or anything. You pointed out the shipment and how it was odd. It was different than all the other ones.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, so going through the ledger, and you're going to have to help me out for a quick sec.
Sure.
Going through the ledger, you actually do. Pivel keeps very detailed notes on the cargo, what's coming in, how much everything weighs, where it goes, those kind of details. You are able to match most of the containers that you found interesting to the dwarf that you had met earlier.
And what was his last name, or name in general?
Dorfar Humbleguard.
Humbleguard. Yes.
How do you guys remember this shit?
I take notes.
I wasn't there, so I didn't take any notes on it. So I was like, I'll let the other guys remember. But he was the one that knew Decurro, right?
I believe Decurro knew of his family.
Oh, okay.
We caught him snooping around our shipment, and Decurro confronted him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Decurro knew of his family and of the trade that they the trade connections that they have. They
were upstanding though, correct? Like they're
very prim and proper. They don't really, they do a lot of basic trade. The one thing that you got though is that they aren't really too much into weapons dealings or anything like that. They're pretty much just basic materials, like tools, or some occasionally they'll deal with bits and like bit parts on mass order, but they don't generally deal with weaponry or the arcane or mechanics or anything like that.
Yes, I remember thinking that it was odd that he was snooping around arcane items.
Exactly, yeah.
And now it's even more.
So yeah, you discovered that pretty much all of the small shipping containers that had those powerless weapons belong to Humble Guard.
Oh, Milo found that out. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll use your for myself. Thank you.
Oh yes, that sounds like something that would interest Decurro very much.
Just scribbling notes.
There you go.
Would there be any other useful information for me in this book other than what I was looking for, do you think?
Why don't you go ahead and give me an intellect check? This is going to have to do with basic travelers within the region and people of import-export. So I'm not sure if you have any previous knowledge of that or anything that you believe could help out.
Well, for my skills, I have a bunch of intellect skills so I'm trained in learning something new, which is so broad, it's awesome. Geography and history, so.
Nice.
Let's go ahead. Let's say that you can throw your geography into this.
Okay.
Basically knowing who, like, this has to do with the various regions and everything.
Okay. So remind me again how the rolls work if you want an intellect check.
So basically you roll me a d20.
Yep.
Tell me the number and I'll tell you if you succeed.
All right, I got a 13.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely. Hands down. So you realize that there's a lot of shipments, a lot of people that normally don't do deals in the Highlands on this particular ship.
Okay.
It looks like there's quite a few people that have traveled from other regions that are now kind of funneling their shipments up north, or people that that are from your region or from, the continent in general that don't normally go north, that usually either go to the south or to the east, that again are irregularly traveling north, if not for them. And you also see that normally people like Dorfar who have rather large shipping companies. They don't normally stay in the headquarters, stay in the city, and have people go out with them. You actually recognize, though, a few names. So you see the Humble Dorfar is on here.
Yep.
There's a guy called Vihorn Ilstat that you notice that is a rather large name in shipping. And there also is a guy called Karenith Wildell, who doesn't necessarily deal in shipping per se, but he's actually something that you would be interested in. Is he's actually a pretty big name in the Arcana, and he's on the ship as well.
Now, when you say he's a big name in Arcana, like, is he like a scholar?
Yeah, basically. He's one of the forefront. He's kind of on the forefront of the merging of the arcane and the mechanic. And he's one of the engineers, the scholars that actually creates new tech, which is a very infrequent thing. Most people just kind of settling on what's been developed for the last few hundred years, whereas he's really not apt to do that. He doesn't do it about just settling for what you guys have. He's really one of the people who's like, there's more information out there. We can make it better. We can make it safer, all this kind of stuff.
All right. That's cool. That's information I can use. So I'm going to close the book. Are there any bookmarks in the book?
No.
No? Okay, so I'm just going to close the book. And I'm going to put it down for now. And what time is it?
It's pretty late right now. It's probably easily around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Happen to have a watch with a sundial on it, do you? Is that?
Yeah, all the time. That's
yeah, okay.
It would be watch right there.
It works inside ships.
All right, so I think I'm all set then. I do want to get the book back before he notices it's gone.
Okay.
Or like, if he has noticed it's gone, hopefully he just thinks he misplaced it, because I'm going to leave it somewhere where he could have misplaced it.
Okay. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah. So
okay.
What I'm going to do is I keep a mask in my bag. So I'm going to put the mask on, and I'm going to flip my jacket inside out because it's reversible. It's like gray on one side and black on the inside. So I'm going to flip it to the black and put the mask on and scurry through the decks and place the book probably in the cargo area. And then hightail it the hell out of there.
All right. Go ahead and give me a speed check then.
All right. Yeah. 14.
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So as you're going down, you actually see that there are a couple of I wouldn't necessarily call them guards, because they are armed, but with a pretty junky short sword, which pretty much kind of the crew carries on them. It's more so for ship duties than for actual, to cut ropes and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a couple of guys kind of walking around, but they're not really paying attention, and it's late. They don't care. And so you kind of easily like wait them out, walk down. The one thing is that you actually do see Pivel kind of in a frenzy at one point.
Yeah.
And he like just turn a corner when you hear of the footsteps, and you push yourself up against the wall, and he blows by you on a T junction in the hallway, and actually able to kind of like, you know, he's going right, you go left, and just kind of like make it down into the cargo hold. And where exactly in it do you want to drop the book?
I think I want to leave it by Humble Guard's shipment.
Nice.
Real okay, sounds good. All right, so yeah, you're able to kind of drop the book down there, and you lead back up to your room.
Yep, and that's what I'm gonna do. And when no one's looking, I'm just gonna flip my jacket back inside out and put my mask back in my bag.
Very nice. All right.
And head back.
So you head back to your bunk, pass out. Handful of hours go by, and all of a sudden, everybody just hears a banging up against their door.
Everybody?
Everybody. And without opening the door, I don't know, who are you rooming with?
Well, we were still down in the cargo hold because Decurro was supposed to come and relieve us because we were watching the package.
Oh, I fell asleep.
I figured.
So we were probably headed up there and be like, fuck this shit. Let's go to bed.
Yeah. After like an hour or 2, 3 hours, and he doesn't come back, it's like, yeah, we'll just go back and crash. I kick him.
Yeah,
when we get back to the room, I kick him in the foot.
And hiss at him.
Oh, Jesus! Who's that hissing? Oh, it's you. Right. Oh, okay, is it my turn? Oh.
It's too late now.
What?
Just go to bed.
It's like 2 in the morning. Just go to bed.
I was in bed.
But go back to bed.
So go back to bed. I was in bed. I go back to bed now. Okay.
I hope you had a nice nap.
It was pretty good. I helped Milo out with something, and I'm good. I'm good now. But I was asleep, but now I'm awake. So should I go back down there, you think?
No, just stay here.
All right. Out.
I wouldn't have thought.
He shakes his head.
I wouldn't have thought that one would be chosen for something so special.
God's work in mysterious ways, I suppose.
Yes.
So he will offer Myra the bed. I'm assuming there was, or either were there multiple hammocks. I don't know how's the room set up.
No, the rooms are, especially since you guys all got your individuals, is they're pretty tiny rooms with just a single hammock in them.
Oh, I thought we were all together. Milo had his own room. I thought Decurro and I were together.
All right, yeah. If you guys wanted to be together, then that's fine. It'll be. I mean, the rooms are at that point probably 6 feet wide by 8 feet long, and just have a couple of hammocks with a couple of foot lockers underneath them, and that's about it. So
nice. Enough
room to kind of maybe push one off to the side and sleep on the ground, or if you wanted to give her your hammock, that would be fine too.
Well, Valos, while I appreciate your offer, I am more comfortable on the floor.
Well, it's up to you.
I've slept on the earth all my life, and I'd rather be closer to it than in your hammock.
If you say.
I do.
He winks.
Is there something in your eye?
No, it's fine. I'm tired.
Good night.
He'll kick off his boots and he'll crash out pretty quick.
Nice.
Decurro would roll over in his sleep, say, "That was smooth, Valos."
So then you can have your knock on the door.
There you go. Yeah. So one of the things is that Myra, you'll actually notice, maybe you won't actually, is that this with the Bitter Mother, you guys saw when you first got on that there's a bunch of kind of arcanic tech just strapped to this thing.
Yes.
It's totally retrofitted. And with you sleeping on the floor, normally that would be a horrible situation in any ship. But the ride on this seems actually fairly smooth. Every once in a while, you'll kind of feel like a little dip, almost as if you're like on a water mattress or something, where you'll feel it kind of every once in a great while. There's a tiny little dip or shimmy to either side. But for the most part, there's almost no movement to it. But this is probably the first time you've ever even touched water, like salt water outside of the swamps. So it might not be something that you even necessarily think about. But
I feel like she's gonna have a rude awakening when she actually goes on another boat.
exactly.
For Valos' social pleasantries there, I just don't think she gets it. She's been in the the swamp, so she's confused about it.
Right. All right. So yeah, it's a handful of hours later, and there's that big banging on the door, and voices from the other side yell, is gathering everybody up on deck.
What's this all about?
And there's no response.
Son of a bitch.
What is it?
We just freaking got in here, and now it's fucking waking us up again.
Well, did they walk away?
They didn't answer.
Well, then we're good. Just go back to bed.
I feel they when they come back, they may not be as amenable, Decurro.
All right.
Do you have coin for my passage? As I'm afraid I don't have a ticket. Will this be a problem?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess maybe you could stay here. I mean, they don't know you're here anyway.
If they don't know you're here, just stay here.
Good plan.
Unless you wish to accompany us, I'm sure Decurro probably has some extra coin that he could part with.
Yeah. I mean, I'll check my other pants, maybe. But yeah, if they don't know you're here, just stay here.
I'll stay here. Just be ready to bail me out.
Oh, you're staying around because you're helping me out of all of this stuff that's going on. You're helping me out with that, so you're not going anywhere.
There's no end to that.
There is what? Yeah, no. There's going to be an end to it. I can't do this. I can't be like this.
That is not for you to decide.
All these weird cryptic things you're saying. Valos, let's just go up to the deck right now. You just stay here, and I can't figure out what she's saying to me right now. This is a curable thing, and that's what I choose to believe. And then he walks out.
He watches you go, and then he turns back to Myra and says, "It's not a curable thing, is it?"
I think it's only going to get worse. And by that, only better.
As long as he pays me, I guess. I mean, whatever.
I can only speculate what is happening, but I have to believe it is something beyond our control.
So it would seem. All right, well, if anybody gives you any trouble, I guess just tell them you're with us, and we'll get it taken care of.
Will do. Or I might have some other things up my sleeve.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it.
Before we'd actually get up to the deck, I would want to find Milo as he was heading up as well.
Okay.
But are we in the same hall?
Yeah, I assume that you'd run into me in the hall, unless I'm already up on deck because you guys are arguing for so long.
I would make a point to find you beforehand. Milo, hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
You know that book?
Decurro walking down the hall. Milo!
Milo!
Yeah.
You know that the book? Are we gonna spring our trap on Piven when we get up there? And
What?
Expose him? Well, the book, he's not supposed to have that, right? That's what you told me. We gotta.
Don't worry with the book.
But we'll spring the trap on him, and we'll just expose him to Dragger. There's nothing. There was nothing in the book.
No, it's my book.
But he stole it from you, right?
Yeah, he took it. He assumed it wasn't mine. I just took it back.
But what I'm thinking is that if we can tell Draggart this, Draggart might knock some money off how much this is costing us.
Or we can just not worry about it. We have a very, very long boat ride. And I don't want it to be any more difficult than it has to be.
You're right. We'll keep investigating, and we'll keep this a secret for now. I got you.
We'll lay low.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
And we'll just go.
Okay, I'm with you. I give him a little wink, and then we'll continue walking.
And I just give you that like.
I'll wait for your signal.
But damn it.
So, am I within earshot of all this, or did you like run down the hall while I was still talking to Myra?
Well, I left and I went to go look for Milo. So, depending on how far Milo's room is from ours, you would have heard it if it's in the same hallway.
But so I assume that I was up the hallway already, and you sprinted at me yelling, Milo. So.
I like that better. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have heard it because all that probably would have happened in the space of after I left the room.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Just want to know how I need to RP it.
What's that?
Yeah. So we'll make our way up topside. I guess we'll just make some small talk on the way up. Oh, you think this is all about? I don't know. Has this ever happened before? You traveled with Draggart before?
I think I have a pretty good idea what this is all about, and I give another wink to Milo.
Again, I just stare at you, confused and baffled at your winking.
Right. Discretion. And I do the little nose thing that I don't know what means, but everyone does it in this situation, so I do it to you.
Well,
I'll humor you and flick my nose back.
Right.
Are you two okay? Is there something that I should be aware of?
Valos, everything is fine. It's under control.
Something on Decurro's face. I was just kept letting him know.
Wait, is there?
Yeah, there's something horrible and scaly on it.
Oh no, don't do that. I take out the sash that I use to cover up my face when I'm out in the sunlight, and I put it on. So now I'm wearing a sash, and it's just my eyes showing. You see it now? It's gone.
That's not conspicuous at all.
It just gets better and better.
So when you guys make it on deck, you realize that they have gathered everybody up. So probably about a quarter of the crew is up there doing the normal procedures. Dragger is standing second level of the ship. And if any of you have seen Hook, very similar situation, except much larger, where you have kind of the base of the deck, and then there's a staircase. There's actually two staircases on either side going up to a second level.
That's exactly how.
Probably about which is pretty much about 20. This is about 20 feet up, though. And so he's standing kind of up top at the railings, and on the ground and pacing feverishly back and forth from staircase to staircase is Piffle. And he just his eyes are darting all through the crowd. He has this kind of scowled, angry look on his face, which is actually kind of cute on him. It's like when like a little kid gets really angry, you're like, ah. And you know, his hair is all kind of bristly now, and so as you know, finally, as everybody kind of amasses up on the main deck, Draggart reaches over and kind of takes a small green crystal and kind of polishes a little bit, wipes some dirt off, places it inside a holder. This small silver orb kind of floats up right in front of him. And he goes, the whole thing echoes across the ship.
Nice.
He says, attention of the bitter mother. It is come to my attention from my first mate that something was done within his quarters last night. He came back and found his door ajar, and he assures me that he would never be one his quarters in such disarray. And you can almost hear the eye roll in Draggart's statement. He doesn't seem like he even wants to be here at this point. He goes, the item was recovered. However, if anybody has any information on who would be in such roguish behaviors, please come forward to any of the crew. Myself, Pivotal, or anyone that you see with any information. Appreciated. I would like to assure everybody that we have the top-notch security and that all of your belongings are safe. I just remind everyone to lock your quarters and ensure that anything valuable. We do have special safe areas within the hold if you do have anything of exquisite value. Thank you for your time, and please enjoy your passage on the Bitter Mother while it lasts. And he kind of gives a wave and taps the orb on the top, and it slowly floats back down into this little cradle, and he pulls the shard out and sticks it into a pocket in his vest.
Valos' eyes narrow, and he turns and looks directly at Decurro. You wouldn't know anything about what he's talking about, do you?
No, I wouldn't. And I look at Milo and give him a nod. Yeah.
And I'm looking incredibly bored with everything.
A hand on either shoulder, I direct you away from like everybody, and I'm like, what's going on?
Wait, who, me? Decurro?
Both of you.
Oh, right. Valos, there is nothing going on but justice. It will be done. As a matter of fact, I feel like you and I should volunteer to help the investigation on the ship, no? Men on the inside.
I've known you for long enough, Decurro, that I know that you've had a hand in this.
On the inside, Valos, we could be.
Look, we just need to get to Highland. We don't need any trouble. I need
you
you
to payday.
Exactly. I need you to pay me. We don't want any trouble here. Don't start any more trouble. Bar fight yesterday.
That wasn't me.
Breaking and entering tonight.
He charged me.
Well, yes, but Because of who you are.
What? Oh, what does that mean?
Look, I know I can count on you when the going gets rough. Your track record in other regards is spotty at best.
You can trust me and Milo. The going is going to get rough before the end of this voyage. But we're going to be on top of it.
Don't let me in with you. I don't know, and I don't even know what's going on here.
Come on, Milo. I thought we were in this together. All right, fine. Valos, don't worry about it. I'll stay out of it. I promise.
Milo, are we good on this, or is this going to be a problem?
I don't know what there is to be good on. Decurro's an idiot. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh!
Well, yeah, you're not too far off on that point.
I know.
All right, you guys keep your secrets like a bunch of little schoolgirls.
Are there schoolgirls here?
Just let's try to stay out of trouble.
All right. I'll do my best, but the guy, he attacked me down there in the bar. So, I mean, I can't help if people are attacking me, but I'll do my very best. You know what? I should probably just go hang around our shipment and just for a little while, and just I'll go check on the shipment. Is that okay?
Yeah, you could make up for time last night. Just spend an extra hour down there.
What happened last night? And then I'll just walk off.
He just stares daggers into your back as you walk away.
Ow. I feel that. I'd probably go, on my way back down, I'd probably go get Myra, actually.
Okay.
So
you walk into the room,
and
she is just sitting on the floor with her eyes closed, kind of in a trance-like, Zen state.
Just kind of very carefully walk up to you and say, Myra?
Yes?
I'm going to go and kind of check on the shipment. Do you want to come with me?
What happened up there?
It's nothing. They think somebody stole something, and it's an overreaction by that Piven guy. Don't worry about it. He was stomping around like a child. It's fine. But will you accompany me to the shipment?
Yes, I would like to see it very much again. I'd like some details of how you found it.
Yeah, I kind of want to go over some stuff too, and I'll take off the stuff on my face. Is there do I got scales? They said I had scales.
She kind of looks and not yet, although your complexion, it's looking a little green.
No, you've got to talk to me. You've got to tell me how to stop this.
Nothing's going to stop this, but we need to find out what's causing it.
All right. Well, I really would like your help.
Let's show me the device again and tell me how you found it, and I will tell you how I found my gifts.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to make a quick check around the area to make sure that humble guard isn't snooping around. So that's where we'll head.
Who are you looking for so intently?
That dwarf humble guard. He shouldn't be concerned with this kind of stuff.
All right. So there's probably a few places that you could check. First, it's early enough that you head down to the galley first. Usually, everybody wakes up, heads down there. And you kind of peruse over the whole group of people, and the first person that you really noticed is what's his name?
The guy?
Holdcorth.
Yeah. So if I see him, I would stop. I would. Okay, we're not gonna. He's not here. I'd grab Myra and just kind of turn her around and head out.
Yeah.
I don't want Valos. Valos said to keep my nose clean. I'm gonna try to keep it clean.
All right.
Let's just go to
the
artifact.
yeah. So the other two places that he could possibly be were either in the cargo hold, checking up on his shipments, or that people of his stature usually travel in the more hoity-toity private section, where people actually have like larger rooms.
I think I'd probably just be a little more concerned that he wasn't snooping around my shipment anymore. So that'd be pretty much it. Probably just go kind of mill around there so I could probe Myra a little bit more about what's going on.
All right. Yep. So yeah, walking around, you kind of just head down there, and there's normal people, and you see Pivel with his ledger walking around checking everything, and there's a couple other people going down checking on their containers, but there's no other real suspicious activity going on right now.
All right. Yep. This is it. It's still here. That's good. No one can take it off this ship. It's too big, right?
Myra goes and undoes the covering of it for a minute and slides her hands on it and just kind of closes her eyes and just takes a minute to focus her energy on this object.
Oh, very nice. All right, let's see here. Why am I blanking? Go ahead, give me a let's go with intellect. That's the one that makes the most sense. This is gonna have to do with more of the deep energies and the feeling of
so
the
this
situation.
is pretty important to Myra, so she's gonna focus.
Indeed.
And she's a tier 1, so I'm gonna spend a level of effort
Okay.
to take this difficulty down a level.
Probably intellect.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has an edge on that, so it's only costing 2. So
All
I'm
right.
rolling a d20, and I got an 18.
Boom!
Really?
Boom,
Really?
motherfucker.
Wow.
Can you see? Oh, now you can't see.
All the secrets of the world are yours.
Right. And so real quick, I just want to go back real quick though. In terms of your previous knowledge or dealings or anything with that, is there anything else that you think you might, any quote unquote assets that you might be able to think you could drop into it?
Let me calling from nothing so much in my
go ahead.
nothing so much in my skill set, although I have some abilities, like a background, if you want to use like a background for an asset.
Ooh.
There.
Absolutely. I love using backgrounds as assets.
Okay. So as long as it has to deal with the same thing, I don't know. So Myra spent her, her beginning out in the wilderness of the swamps, and she ended up growing underneath the swamps where she was touched by some kind of energy and the such. She actually died in the swamps by a poisonous creature and was brought back to life by some deity or something. She's assuming it's a deity, and through that she got in touch with an energy she never knew she had, and was able to use powers of necromancy and the such. So she has really been in touch with energies and the hidden things that aren't available to see right off the bat, like just with pure eyes.
Very nice. So there's a history of transference of energy almost with her.
Yes, it's mostly negative energy, but yes.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do is between the effort that you spent and kind of touching into your background, you're kind of running your hands over this, and you feel that there's this. It's very, like I said before, incredibly smooth to the touch, and old actually. almost as if it's been, if you ever, run your hand over ice or anything, it takes it a moment for the sense to really set in. But once it does, it comes with a bite. No pun intended with that. And so as you're kind of rolling over, you suddenly start to, feel that cold sensation, and then a shooting of this kind of almost bitter and tingly sensation starts at your fingertips and rushes up your elbow, and then a very fine jolt of it comes kind of from the elbow to the shoulder, and then it disappears for a moment in the center of your chest. It almost feels like somebody kind of just quickly sticks you with a needle, and there's an echo within your head, and it suddenly just kind of gives you this feeling of accomplishment. And one of those, when you're putting a puzzle together, you find within the depths of the box that one piece that you've been looking for that kind of fits perfectly in that edge that really just kind of sinks in, and you just get this incredible sense of accomplishment and of a task well done.
Ooh.
Good.
In Vicros, Decurro, what you see is Myra touching the device, and then all of a sudden she just stops, and her whole body freezes, and she twitches, and she opens up her eyes, and what were normal pupils go to slits to be like serpentine, like those narrow eye slits, and they go back, and she just is frozen for a second.
Jesus.
And then releases with a sigh.
What was that?
I don't know, but it was meant to be you. You were meant to find this. I cannot explain it, but I am here for a reason.
Yes. What reason? To rid me of this?
You fool, it's a gift.
Here's a better question. When we finally get rid of this, will this stop? What's happening to me?
And she looks at you. Are you not listening?
No,
there are powers greater than you.
But I'm selling this for coin. We can't keep this.
Do you wish to have answers to your problem that will only get worse? And with that, she pulls down her head a little bit more so he can see the full-blown scales on the side of her neck that are growing up to her face. And they're not just little dry skin patches. They're fucking scales.
Decurro just kind of falls back and sits on some crate and just puts his head in his hands and just... No. What are you saying?
Decurro, tell me how you found this.
There was something around it. I just tried to wipe some of it away, and it all just absorbed. I can only assume it absorbed into me, but I didn't feel anything. I thought it was nothing, and then there was this. I don't really have any other information other than that. I don't know what it was, but this is a very powerful power source. I have deals in place. I have to. This is going to be gone. I mean, what do you want me to do with this?
Decurro, and she takes his hand, and she has this little shaman-like dagger, and she trusts me. And she puts like a small cut in his hand to stop blood, and she slams his hand on the device. It says concentrate.
No,
see if you can feel it too.
Oh my god. Okay. What? You cut my hand, and now I'm touching the device with blood hand.
Close your eyes, fool.
Okay.
Open yourself up to other things.
I like to think I'm pretty open to other things. Okay, fine. All right. I open myself up to other things.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me a might check?
Oh, shit.
This is so exciting.
Oh my god! A might check. I don't really have. You know what? I don't. Would anything? Just basic might check. I'm not even gonna.
If you have anything that would deal with perhaps a resistance of sort, or
A defense. Like
yeah,
defense?
any type of defense like that.
So let me throw this at you. I've got an inability in willpower.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just so you know, and I'm just for the sake of whatever is going to happen, I'm not even gonna do effort. I'm just gonna let it roll. All right.
Sounds good. Right on.
Oh, I rolled a 5. Take me. Take me now. Take all of me.
Yeah. So as you notice that you're like, okay, and you kind of relax a little bit, and suddenly your entire body just tenses up and seizes. And Myra, you can actually see that there's a sudden in his body, almost like somebody put defibrillator pads on him.
I'm not dead
And
yet.
you see a very quick change in where almost every vein that runs along the just below the surface has a quick pulse to it, and everything kind of rises up, and you see just this blackness shoot through his veins, surging through his body, and it comes through the cut in his hand, pouring out onto the giant obelisk, and it almost reaches through tenderlessly, sinking into some of the cracks and the crevices of it before almost just as quickly withdrawing, pulling back into him, and then fading within an instant. And Decurro just collapses down onto the ground.
Oh, perhaps you weren't ready.
I'm unconscious, I presume.
No, you are not unconscious. However, you do take
Okay.
1 point of might damage.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta put that.
Did it speak to you? Did it echo in your head too? What happened?
I don't know what happened. Why did you do that? That hurts so much. What happened?
It calls to you. It calls to us.
I don't know what I
Are
don't,
you crying?
No, you're crying. I don't know. I'm not. Oh, I try to stand up and stretch out. Oh, I don't know what that was. That didn't feel right. So this makes me want to get rid of it more, just so we're on the same page here, Myra. This makes me want to get rid of this more now.
You can get rid of it and it will always call to you. It'll always call you back.
Oh, God. What do I do? What do I do?
We enlist the help of your friends and we find out what this is.
When we get to when we get to the Highlands, Morin is going to be looking for this.
Then we better find out things quickly.
Okay. All right, I gotta think. And Decurro's gonna sit rubbing his temples, thinking. Shivering.
Real quick, can you give me a D100 roll?
Decurro or Myra?
Oh, who?
Myra.
Myra. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. You get my percentile dice. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. All right. Pink is going to be the 10s.
Oh, my name's
I got a
Decurro.
57.
Nice. Okay. So as you're kind of sitting there a little bit, Decurro's is sitting there rubbing his rubbing his temples, and something kind of unsettling in your chest. Kind of just a couple finger widths below the clavicle. And you kind of reach up and you almost feel like a little bump. It moves around a little bit, and realize that something is kind of settled just underneath the skin, between your skin and your breastbone there.
Myra will. She will unbutton her blouse a little bit to get a better look at it and kind of stretch the skin around it to
Look,
to
I like it. I like it and everything, and you're helping me out. But please,
shut up.
I can't. Okay.
It left something
All right.
inside of me, and it's not you. And she's
Oh, shit.
So you go ahead and oh, that's very nice. What do you say? You got a 57, right?
yes. Yep.
All right. You're gonna go ahead and take the monoblade Cypher.
Ooh.
I need something like that. So what does that do?
Let's see. It produces a 6-inch blade that's the same level as the Cypher, which we will, if you actually want, you can go ahead and give me a roll now.
What do you want me to roll?
It'll be a D6.
D3?
D6.
D6. I got a 4.
Nice. It's actually a level 6 blade then.
Coming out of my chest.
The blade.
I can
So we'll actually. So are you familiar at all with the Warlock from D&D 5th edition?
like
It's
the Eldritch Blast
be-
kind of thing?
It's actually going to be more like the Pact Blade.
Oh.
So it's something that you will be able to form.
Wow.
It won't necessarily come out of your chest.
Okay.
So yeah, the blade can cut through any material lower than it. If used as a weapon, it's a light weapon that ignores armor, and the blade lasts for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And this was basically bestowed from the artifact.
If you want to think that, sure.
Well, no, okay, no, but all right, gotcha. Yeah.
And I know we're
That's
using
awesome.
a modified version of this game, but ciphers are still one-time use kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. 10 minutes. Wow. Decurros.
Real quick, we'll do that. You basically have. Let's say that you have 10 minutes to use it.
Okay.
It's not necessarily going to be a one-time use. You can use it as many times as you want, but once you reach that 10 minutes, it'll be gone.
Okay, cool.
Could it be considered more of like an artifact then, maybe, as opposed to just like a straight cipher?
Slightly, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
you could
almost
throw
like
that
a
on
combination of the two. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sounds like a 1 in D10 roll. Like every time you use it, you roll a D10. If it's a 1, it's done.
Well, yeah. So
hey, we
combat's
got it like
usually what, like a minute? So I mean, theoretically, should have for like 10 whole
uses.
combats.
Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
pretty
Yeah,
fucking
that's true.
sweet.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, if you want to be meta about it.
Yeah. So meta.
Ooh.
What is
Decurros.
that?
It has bestowed me a gift.
What? That?
Yes, it's given me a power of a blade that I can conjure. I will show you next time we mean to kill somebody together.
Okay, you're not gonna stab me with that right now, are you? Because I can't do what just happened again.
No. Your friend Milo, isn't he knows much about this gentleman you're delivering this to?
Yeah, Milo sets up a lot of this stuff. He's kind of the go-between for this. I I get the things. He sets up the deals. Yeah, I like Milo. He'd probably know exactly what just came out of your chest.
You need to tell him what happened to you. You need to let him know what's happening. He does not know me. He does not trust me, but he trusts you.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if. Okay. I'm sure he trusts me. So yeah. Okay. All right. I'm still gonna need. I'm gonna need a minute. Is that what is that? What are you closing your eyes now? Okay, you're closing your eyes now. Okay, all right. Then Decurro will just kind of keep trying to get himself together.
Somewhere Valos is smiling. He doesn't know why. He just feels really good. It's like one of those things like, today's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
All right. So in the meantime, actually, what is Valos doing?
I'm assuming that Milo probably would. So Decurro ran away. He's just kind of standing there, staring at Milo. I assume Milo's like, and just kind of walks away.
That's exactly what I did, actually.
Yeah. So he stands there for a couple of more minutes. So, he'll kind of like, stand up on the rail and kind of just like, take in the morning, try to like, he knows that Decurro's up to something. Draggart wasn't like super specific about what happened. So he's kind of like, I know something is happening. Hopefully this doesn't blow up in our face. We have things to accomplish. He doesn't know Milo all that well, so he doesn't want to push him too hard because hopefully he's getting paid now. So he'd probably work his way down to the galley and get some breakfast and just kind of wait for things to come back around.
All right. So we'll say that actually while you're eating breakfast, you're probably towards the end of it. You've finished your bread and the cured pork that came along with it, and a really bitter cup of coffee. And the last few sips of your coffee, the 1/8 orc fellow that Decurro got into a little scuffle with the previous day, but not nearly as aggressive as he was before. In fact, it's I wouldn't necessarily say timid, but it's a more cordial approach. And he says, "Excuse me."
So I don't know. Does he see him coming? Because I think like as soon as he sees him coming, he kind of like leans back in the chair and his hand sort of drops to his side under the table. Because he's
a pretty big dude, and most people get out of his way. So chances are he see him coming towards you.
So he does that. He kind of leans the chair back a little bit, so he's kind of ready.
All right. And so he just kind of, folds his arms, looking at you, but kind of a little low, a little slumped in the shoulder. And you can see too that he has this, nice shiner on his left eye, and a piece of a bandage kind of over his forehead as well. I don't know what kind of company you keeping with Decurro, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of past mistreatment of most of the people that he works with.
He just lit. Well, I'm quite familiar with Decurro's treatment of people. I have my hooks in him for quite a bit of coin now that he owes me. I try to keep him as close to me as possible because I figure one of these days this is going to shake out and, I'll at least get some of my money back.
And he kind of gives a shake of his head. That's what I thought too, but Then I ended up almost 16 months in hard labor because of him. So I just watch out, make sure that you at least get a little bit of your pay, and that he doesn't try to leave you behind catching the tail of whatever he's left through. He tends to act like a lizard in that way. Hold of him, and he just leaves something behind as a treat.
I think that's a fairly appropriate description, I would say. It's a shame about your situation, but you know, I can't help you there. Like I said, I try to keep him tight, and you know, if it comes to it, I mean, he hasn't flaked on me yet. Of course, I still haven't been paid yet either, but
just make sure you get whatever you can out of him before he gets what's coming to him.
I'll keep that under advisement.
And he kind of gives a little bit of a tip of his head and bids you a good day and makes his way back up to the main bar.
All right, he you know, kind of relaxes and, you know, puts the chair down, you know, puts his arms back on a table, kind of, you know, scratches his face and, you know, thinks to himself, whatever Myra did to him must have worked. He was, you know, quite a brute last night. Might be something to all this.
All right, what is Milo doing right now?
What time is it?
It's pretty early still. It's probably around 7 in the morning at this point after the conflagration at the on the deck. So I'm saying they basically take where Valos was like, "Hey, Milo," and then you just turned and walked away from him.
Yeah, I was tired, so I was going back to bed.
Oh, very nice.
I was up all night. I got very little shut eye.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I'm probably still sleeping enough in my bunk.
Sounds good. All right. Is there any pressing matters that anybody wants to take care of?
How many days ahead are we skipping? And I'll let you know.
We're probably going to skip ahead within the next week or so.
All right. Well, during that week, I want to suss out who Vihora Ilstad is and what was his name? Karanis Wildo? Or Wildo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Karanith
Wildo. I have it spelled in my notebook as Karanus, and I was like, nah, it's probably not right. So I just want to figure out who they are, like specifically, because I don't obviously know what they look like, but I want to figure out who they are so I can.
Are you gonna try to bring anybody else on into this with you, or is this kind of a personal sussing out?
This is a personal sussing out.
And so, how exactly do you want to go about doing this?
Just kind of eavesdropping around the ship.
All right. So you want to kind of talk to people, strike up conversations here and there whenever it seems natural.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and do an intellect check for that. Yeah. Anything that you have that could garner more of a social edge to it.
Nothing for that.
Nothing of the sort for that? No. Okay.
No. I did roll an 18 then. So.
Oh wow! Jesus Christ, dude!
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Nice.
So yeah, it actually doesn't take you all that long. Maybe only a couple of days till you actually like find these people in person. Whether or not you want to approach them or not is totally up to you. But you actually figure out that Vihorn is, like I said, he's into trade and distribution.
Does he normally
He's
trade in
actually,
specific things?
what was that?
Does he normally trade in specific things?
Yeah, he actually is fairly. He's known, or at least, and now he never came up with a family. So whereas Humbleguard trading is a family business, Ilstant almost kind of came up from nothing. In a similar situation to Decurro, actually. Where he just kind of made a name for himself little by little, until he managed to actually create a business out of it.
Okay.
And yeah, he deals a lot in tech, not a lot with the arcane side of things. However, when dealing with tech, it's almost impossible to separate the two. But you kind of get the feeling that his interests and his knowledge lie more in the tech side of things than on the arcane side of all of this. And then in terms of Karenith, he's actually kind of a mystery because he is a traveler. So it's not uncommon for him to be on a ship. However, he tends to travel a lot smaller, or I wouldn't necessarily say personal vessels, though he tends to do more of like the I can't remember what they're called now, like the not a skim, but whatever. They're, a smaller ship that maybe only has like 20 or 30 people on it that can travel faster from point to point because he doesn't really worry about trading things or bringing anything with him. Being on a cargo vessel like the Bitter Mother is pretty out of the ordinary for him.
Okay. So I actually will. You can skip ahead if you want, and I'll bring it to. I will bring that information that it's odd that these two people are on this cargo ship specifically and heading for Highland, which they would not normally be doing. And I will bring it to. I will bring it to Decurro and Valos. I'll try to keep our affairs away from Myra as much as possible, just because I don't trust her.
All right. Yeah, because it's only been a few days. Really, we'll just jump right into that unless anybody has anything even more pressing than that.
Not pressing, but at some point I do want to have a conversation with Milo because he is a worldly person, and I would want to ask him about this thing that has been installed in me. I don't know how else to say it. So see if he's ever heard of anything like that.
Yeah. So within the next few days, you'll probably catch him a lot, carousing on the upper deck or within the galley. Whether or not he'll choose to speak with you is up to him.
Yep.
But
I'll let him do his thing first, and then I'll corner him.
Sounds good. All right. How about Decurro or Valos?
Valos would just kind of keep his ears open to see if he could suss out what's been, what was stolen, what's going on with Pivel. He wouldn't approach him directly necessarily because it doesn't concern him so much. He just doesn't want to be caught unawares because that's just his personality, and with his business, he wants to know things that are happening.
All right.
He'll kind of keep an eye on Decurro. I mean, he keeps an eye on Decurro anyway, for the most part, if he can. So he would just, maybe kind of like redouble his effort, to make sure that he wasn't getting into trouble. He would, he probably also, like in a chagrined manner, kind of tell Decurro about the guy up in the galley and be like, hey, whatever whatever you guys did, that night in the galley seemed to work. That guy came up to my table and wanted to warn me about your personality type, as it were.
Decurro, to be honest with you, after this whole thing with the artifact, he's trying to stay kind of low key. So he's often like rubbing his chest, like, and looking at his hand where he got cut, and the sun hurts his eyes now more. But I would address that specifically and say, Valos, I'll tell you about him some other time. Don't listen to him. He's a bad dude. You're a good dude. Don't listen to what he got. What was coming to him. I'll tell you the story about him some other time. I think I need a glass of water. I'm gonna go get some water.
Hey, are you feeling okay? You seem to be a little under the weather in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm just working through some stuff. I'll get through it. I'll be all right. But I'm just I'm working through some things about me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It'll be fine. I'm gonna get some water and it'll be fine. But just don't worry about that guy. I'll stay away from him, and then it'll be great. We'll get to Highlands, and we won't have to see him ever again.
Hopefully for you, you won't. He's a pretty big dude.
I got him. It's fine. you know me, Valos. He can't. He can't get his hands on me.
So as you go to push by me, then I grab your hand and I flip your hand so it's palm up, so I can see, your wrists. Are there any black veins or any sort of?
Actually, I don't know. What happened with the wound after she slapped it out? Like, would there still be a cut in my hand?
There definitely is still a cut. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So there's a pretty big, slice on my hand.
So he'll take that in, but is there any, evidence of further spreading of what I'd seen on his neck?
I don't know. Is there?
No, everything pretty much settled back into how it was before.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how far it has spread. However it was before, it would be.
It eventually just overtakes me, but it's like in the first, and that all depends on how you want to play it. But just mechanically, as far as the focus goes, as I go up in tier, it gets worse. But
okay.
However you want to.
Yeah.
Story.
Oh no, yeah. So yeah, it's basically it'll be pretty localized at this point then.
Yeah. So okay. So there's a pretty big cut in the hand.
All right. So you have a little accident?
No. Well, Myra, right? Remember her?
Yes, I know Myra.
So she's helping me out with this. I mean, I gotta work through some stuff with her because she knows a lot about what's going on with me. With the black. You remember that?
I remember. It's creepy.
It is. It doesn't feel good. Well, she did something, and she did something to me, and then what she did something else to me, and that's kind of what's happening right now. And I don't really understand it, but she's gonna kind of work me through it. And what I'm hoping is eventually is going to happen. She's going to tell me how I can get rid of it. She's got it in her head that it's not going away, that it's like me now, and everything is just like this is how I am, and it's a gift. But I feel like in the end, she's going to be able to just make it all go away because it doesn't feel good right now. But I don't want you to worry about this. I'm still kind of working through this, and it's kind of what is making me this way right now. So I'll stay out of trouble. I'm just going to stay low-key for now, if that's okay with you. If you need me, I'll either be by the artifact or just, in my bunk.
I think I like this new Decurro. Maybe Myra's a good match for you.
No, she doesn't seem too interested. No, that's not. She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that, Valos.
I'm just
don't get used to this Because once this is gone, I'm back to the way I was. I can't afford to not be the way I was.
I can't afford for you not to be the way you were.
You're gonna get paid. Look at the thing. We're gonna go see the general guy, the whatever, Morin. He's gonna give us money, and we're gonna get rid of that thing. It's gonna be gone out of our lives forever. Okay? And then I'll grab you by the collar and be like, it's gonna be gone, Valos. Okay?
And he just kind of stands there, and then he waits for you to release him. He kind of pats you on the shoulder, and he's like,
okay. All right. Sorry, I'll straighten out your collar. Okay.
All right. I think maybe after this one, we maybe take a little bit of a break, right? Maybe not go hunting so much.
Maybe. That might be. I'll think about it. That might be a good idea. I could probably use a little bit of a vacation. Disappear for a while, right?
Well, not too far. Maybe we should set up something together. We'll get a little place. We'll take a little time off.
Oh, I see. You and me, like moving, like living together, moving in together.
Don't be crazy. Just a little side little vacation thing. We'll get you squared away. We need you nice and healthy. And
you know what? I'll quit while I'm ahead. All right, I'll quit while I'm ahead.
Good plan.
All right. I'm gonna go take a little break.
All right.
And then he walks off in the opposite direction of the bunk.
Yeah. Other than that, Valos doesn't have anything. I mean, he's
Other than that,
and Decurro is really actually is trying to kind of stay low key after what happened with the shipment.
All right, so we'll say that a day or so goes by after that, and Milo, you have finished your reconnaissance of these couple of guys, and also you've had Myra kind of poking and prodding you, like at least a couple of times every day.
Every time that's happened, I've been very dismissive and just really bored sounding.
What is this thing under my skin, Milo? It came from that thing that Decurro dug up.
Or it didn't.
It did. Ask him. He saw it. Something happened to him too.
What? What happened to Decurro now?
He put his hand on it and it touched him. It reached out to him and his veins, they bubbled and black, and he got all weird, and then he started to cry after, which I assume is just a normal thing for him, but that vein thing, I've never seen anything like it.
He is a crier. That is for sure. If there's one thing I can honestly state about Decurro that I know, it's he just lets the tears flow.
I hear him at night, and I hear other things, and they're happening at the same time. And they think that I'm disturbing.
You are pretty disturbing. You're green, right? You are green, right? Out of character.
Yeah, not all over yet, but there's definitely like green patchwork scales coming up her neck, and not on a whole half of her face yet, but a good chunk of it where she could hide it if she put her hair over and maybe did some makeup and such, but she is choosing not to at this point.
I didn't want to make sure I was way off base on that one.
Yeah, nope. That picture I originally posted was all green, but she's not there yet.
Okay.
But she's fucking hideous. She's not an attractive woman.
She is not attractive.
No. You'll see when you see this gift in action. I hope that you will speak with me then. It is not a figment of my imagination. And when you see what I can do, I hope you believe. But talk to your friends. He was touched by it too.
Touched by something else too if he keeps crying.
Every night. But it's not by... I won't go there. You've bunked with him before. You get it.
I make sure not to bunk with him. Ever.
Wise, so wise. If you have any extra room on your floor, just let me know.
Full with books. No extra room at all. Sorry. So yeah, throughout that entire conversation, yeah, I looked really bored and not like really into the conversation at all. But I'm mostly it's mostly because, and this is just as like a rule of thumb, I'm plotting and planning probably, so I'm not into any conversation ever. But I will say to Myra that I don't really know anything about what's going on, like why your skin is green or anything that's going on at Decurro or the thing in your chest. It's not really my area of expertise. I heard about the device, sent Decurro to go get it, and I kind of was just the middleman for who we're selling it to.
I wonder if he knows. Perhaps he will humor me with some conversation.
Who? The man who we're selling it to?
Yes,
You can try.
I will. Talk to your friends. I think he needs some help.
All right, I'll go do that. So before I actually go talk to them, I'm gonna, without Myra looking, I'll like wait till she's not looking, and I'll actually head down to the cargo hold, and I'm gonna start touching the machine too. Just kidding. Like, what is she talking about?
Ooh.
And yeah, when you actually rub your hands on it, it feels like a very smooth metal. And exactly how, because I don't think you've actually taken a glance at this thing yet, have you?
Well, I probably did before we covered it up with a tarp and put it on the thing just to see what I'm being the middleman for.
Decurro, would you have allowed that?
Of him to touch it?
Well, no, for him to actually like take it, because this thing's been tarped and carted from the very beginning. So would you have, if Milo was like, I'll help you out on this, but I need to know what I'm dealing with first?
Oh, for Milo, yeah, because
Yeah.
right, yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to Milo just only because
Okay.
like, we're all together in this, and it was his deal to begin with. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, you can, there's the small, I wouldn't necessarily call them cracks, but where a couple of pieces of metal butt up against each other, but it's so thin that it's so precise that there's really no space in between. So running your hand over it almost feels like a continuous smooth surface, and it actually feels a little warm to you, which adds an active power source. Isn't too much out of the ordinary, especially something this size. They tend to give off an energy, and just like anything, be it a battery or fire or anything like that, energy usually translates into heat. This thing being slightly warm isn't really out of the ordinary for you.
So it just seems like a regular object to me. I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Decurro is definitely like, he's not like on the opposite side of the room, but he's far enough away where he's not at any risk of touching it again as you're doing all of this.
Oh, so you're in the room with me?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Am I not?
I don't know.
You can be if you want.
I
Yeah,
would
sure.
make sure you weren't watching while I touched it, but that was about it.
Oh no, I don't care if you touch it or not. I mean, it's Milo's deal. So yeah.
Well, no,
I
but
actually
it's more
like it if you touch it.
No, you know what? Actually, this might be better if I'm not there. So no, I'm not there. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
interjected inappropriately. Sorry.
Regardless, I'm done touching it. I'm gonna go find Decurro and Valos anyways. So if you guys are apart, I'm gonna find one of you and bring you to the other one anyways. That's what's happening next.
All right. Let's jump to that then.
Okay, perfect.
Find Decurro standing like in the hallway, just kind of staring up against a wall, just like looking at the wall.
Okay, I'm just gonna continue walking, and as I get to you, I'm gonna just say "with me," and then just keep going.
Who?
Such a dick.
Oh, me.
Oh yeah, I'm the
Love
worst.
Great.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And I will fall in line and follow Milo.
And to Valos.
I'm probably
It's
still
me.
Where would we
All right,
find
yeah.
Valos?
He'd be in the room. Like if this all around that same time that we had the conversation, he went out. I probably stayed. I'd eaten, just gonna relax. There's nothing too much going on. We don't have anything to do really. It's a little bit of quiet time. Decoro's not in the room.
Well, you better get ready for him because he's coming in.
That's what she said.
Hi-yo.
All right, so I don't even knock. I just open your door.
So when you come in, he's kind of like in a half crouch with his sword out, because he was just kind of like sitting like in the hammock, just relaxing, whatever. And the door opens with no anything, and he just immediately crouch, sword.
Do you always treat your guests like that?
Well, you have your own room. Maybe you should have knocked.
So inhospitable. Anyways, I have information that might be pertinent to our mission, our current mission.
Does this have anything to do with Pivel?
No.
Oh, okay.
Who's Pivel?
The first mate, the little guy.
Oh,
the
right.
guy who we're going to eventually expose to Draggart as being a thief.
For what?
He's a thief. He stole your book.
He didn't steal my book.
What?
Anyways, I have better information. So, and I go on to tell him about the shipping guy and the scholar and how they're not usually, they wouldn't normally be going up this way anyways, and that the scholar would normally be on a skiff, which is a faster ship.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can have that if you like. And how it's odd, and how Humbleguard is he seems to be transporting weapons, which he's not known for shipping for weapons and stuff like that.
That's weird.
And I mean, it could just be because there's a civil war and there's money to be made up in Highguard, but we can make money off this information by figuring out who they're giving the weapons to. If they're giving it to the other side, we can give information to our side to let them know. Or if they're giving it to our side, we can give them information to the other side.
Well, what swords, weaponry, or do they have this? Is he transporting ciphers? What sort of weaponry are we talking about?
Just tech weapons, both probably guns, right, Jesse? Probably guns.
Yeah. There's you don't know exactly what's in his shipments, but if it's weaponry, chances are in containers of that sort, it's probably some type of firearm.
Yeah. So there you go.
Would this be common or uncommon? What would be the availability of this sort of stuff?
Firearms are fairly common to get a hold of as long as you have the gold to buy them. It's not something that it's kind of like firearms nowadays. It's not something that like a normal person could easily pick up off the street. Or well, maybe off the street if you're not doing it legally. But yeah, so like, if you want to just go and buy one, it's gonna take some coin, but they're readily available.
Okay.
Quality wise, if you're gonna spend 7 or 8 gold on it, you're gonna get a junk one that might not work all the time, and it might crap out on you quickly. So if you want anything high end with a good tech arcane crossover and a good compatibility between the technologies, then you're gonna have to spend a little bit more. But this guy seems like he doesn't deal with low end tech. He's not a high end merchant or a trader, but yeah, you're definitely not getting bottom of the barrel stuff with him.
Okay. Well, Milo, quite honestly, I have no side. High Meadow is High Garden. God damn it. So many shows. Highland is my home. I do not wish to see war in God damn it. in Highland at all. If I had thought that the shipment that we were providing would be used for those purposes, I don't know that I would have agreed to this in the first place.
Well, regardless of what you want, there are sides currently because there's a civil war going on. So, yeah.
Well, do we know? Oh, I see. Okay, so we don't. So all of this stuff is what Humble Guard is delivering?
Yes, which is interesting for 2 reasons. And Decurro, please try to keep up.
Well, it's only because I know the Humble Guard, they don't do that kind of thing. Normally.
Right. You know that because I just said it.
I'm sorry. Milo, I'm going through some stuff. I am sorry. I'll try to pay attention. Ugh.
Do you need to use the latrine?
No, it's more of a thing in my heart, but I'll be fine. Please continue with your presentation.
All right, so on to the next slide of my PowerPoint presentation over here.
It's a thing now.
Yeah, it is. So regardless, irregardless, not a word. So we can make some money off this if we play our cards right. But it's also important to know that if there is weapons that are going to one or the other side, that this ship could very well be attacked if anyone found out about these shipments. So if someone has some leaky hatches, some loose lips, we could be in for a rough ride either anytime soon or when we get to port.
I wonder if Draggart knows what he's transporting.
Decurro, would you know if
Draggart.
Yeah, thank you.
I had to tell him.
Would he even care?
I had to tell him that it was an artifact power source type thing being delivered to Commander Morin. That was about it, though. He needs like a short description normally of what he's carrying. So I'm sure that the Humble Guards had to tell him what they had.
Not if they grease some palms.
Ooh, Piven?
Doubtful.
It'd be Draggart himself if they were going to grease anybody's hands.
Okay.
Well, not if Draggart doesn't like transporting this kind of stuff. They'd have to grease the dock workers or something like that to change the labels on it so he could say whatever it is and they wouldn't check.
True.
What do the actual labels say? Did we go over that yet?
I assume they just say like Humble Guard on them.
Yeah, on the containers themselves. Yeah, they just have his on them.
Well, do you want me to try to drop a dime with Draggart about the fact that he's possibly transporting weapons?
I don't think that would do any good.
Well,
Just because they're already here, we're a week out, we're not turning around.
okay. All right. So how do we spin this into our favor? Okay, I think I see where you're going now. All right, I'm feeling a little better. How do we spin that into our favor here? Do we try to get out ahead of it? Do we hit up Morin beforehand?
When you say his name, like a dark look passes over my face, like quick, it's gone. Like it's there for an instant. If you're not looking at him in the face, you probably don't even see it.
I think I probably know your opinions on Morin already, though.
Maybe.
So,
And please, Valos, speak up if you have any. Maybe we want to give it to the other side. No.
Oh, I'd like to see it not at all. Perhaps one of us can speak to Draggart and just find out what the current situation is in Highland. I haven't been home in a little while, so I'm not quite sure what the political situation is. Other than, a potential civil war.
Maybe I should speak to Draggart.
Valos turns and looks at Milo.
I guess I glance towards you as well, and just I look at Valos and say, "No, you should probably do it."
All right.
Decurro looks a little hurt, but understands.
You're a little under the weather and all. I don't want you to worry too much about it.
All right. Well, maybe I should. You want me to break into one of their?
I was going to say it'll seem less pryy if Valos is asking about his homeland situation.
That's true. Yeah, and then Draggart might bring up how much money I owe him too, and I don't really want to deal with that right now.
Yeah. God
Should
forbid.
I try to get into one of the crates?
Nope.
No? Okay, I won't do that. That won't help, you don't think? You don't think that'll help?
No, I don't think that'll help right now.
Okay. I probably won't do that then.
What we need is someone who isn't threatening at all. To ask around.
You're not that threatening, Milo.
You're right. I'm not that threatening. I'll go ask around.
Why don't you go ask around? What do you want me to do? I could, just throwing this out there, I could go try to get into one of the crates. Would that help?
Actually, would it help? How discreet can you be?
Completely.
Well, you said that with 100% confidence, so I'm going to go ahead and believe you there.
Milo, if there's one thing I am, it's discreet.
The most. Go ahead, try your hand. But if you get caught, I don't even know you.
No, you don't know me at all.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I do a little bit. I will disavow you.
Okay. I wouldn't blame you. So I will go and attempt to grab a crate. Do you have a specific crate you want me to try to look into?
Just high guards. Not any specific one.
All right. I'll do the thing. I'll take a peek, and then I'll close it up. No one will even know I was there.
Okay.
Just like when I grabbed Pippin's.
No, what are you talking about?
Right, sorry. Nose thing.
I'll just shake my head and wince because you're so painfully obvious.
Valos just files that away.
And I'll go off to do my scoping out.
All right, when you go, and then when Milo goes, Valos will wait for you guys both to leave.
All right, I'm gone.
All right, and then he Yeah, he sits back down on the hammock, and he says to Myra, he goes, "So what's with Decurro? He seems to be sick."
Well, I don't believe I was there because he purposely waited till I wasn't there.
Oh, did he not wait? Okay, I was talking to my kid when you guys.
Yeah, no, so that's why I wasn't chiming in there. But
Okay.
it just so happens, at some point I will be coming back to the room, so I will see you sitting on your hammock.
Maybe
I'm
you're waiting.
assuming,
We
hang
kicked you out, and you're
outside.
waiting outside the door.
That's not how it happens.
Yeah, he's in no rush to go see Draggart necessarily, so like it's still quiet because now they're both gone. So he may just kick back in the hammock again. Yeah. So then if you come in,
yeah, you'll hear the key going, and then Myra will walk in, say that Milo is a dick.
he's yes. I think that's a common trait to people in his profession.
What is he?
He is a procurer of objects. Of course, he doesn't do any real work himself, but he does know quite a few people. His knowledge of people and places is, what gets his end of the work done anyway.
A procurer? He's a thief?
More like he facilitates thieving, I believe. People request certain items, he makes certain deals.
So was this item you're delivering requested?
I believe so. Decurro had contacted me after he was contacted by Milo, and he requested that I provide security, if you want to call it that. I like to keep Decurro close because it's Decurro.
This is no ordinary item or power supply or whatever you think it is. It has incredible powers. It has energy.
I know very little about the object itself. I was told very little other than, what Decurro disclosed in the hold the other night.
It spoke to me, and it implanted something in me. And if it goes into the wrong hands, or perhaps it has called me to it. It has called Decurro to it.
That could explain how he found it. His situation, and he kind of waves his hand by his head, around his neck area. Is this the same thing that you have yourself?
It is different, but it comes from the same source, I feel, or so I suspect. I left my home in search of I didn't know what, but I know it would call me, and he called me, and then I'm on this ship in this item, and it spoke to me. It echoed throughout my head. So I just had this feeling when we get off that ship that things are not going to go as smoothly, because if this item has the power to call us, it's not going to leave us easily.
When you say it spoke, do you mean it? You got a feeling, or it literally spoke to you?
Not in words, but yes, in feeling and in energy.
They've made a deal that I'm not sure that we would be able to renege on at this point. I do not wish to see civil war in my homeland, but I fear that we may be past the point of no return.
Milo won't listen to me. Decurro is an idiot. Perhaps you will. Be prepared. If this item has a will of its own, things are not going to happen as smoothly as you think.
No, things never go as smoothly as you think. I learned that a long time ago.
I will be ready.
As will I. Is there anything that we can do for Decurro in the meantime?
Can get him his own private quarters. How do you put up with that?
I'm used to it by now. I just kind of tune it out.
It's quite disturbing.
Indeed.
Perhaps when we were on land, we could get him some lambskin or something to mute the sound.
Well, we'll have to look into it when we get there. I guess, when we stay at an inn, we'll have to get him a separate room. Quarters are tight on the ship and all.
I understand.
Have you had any trouble on the ship so far? Has anybody seen you wandering about?
If they have not asked any questions. Perhaps they are afraid to come near. I do get that when I'm around people.
Well, it'll be to our advantage as long as you're on the ship.
And if they do speak with me, they'll have some nightmares, I promise.
I'm sure they may. All right. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can't capture Draggart and get some information so we can see exactly what we're stepping into.
Is that the captain?
Yes.
Yes. See what you can find.
All right. Well, I'll let you know when I find out.
Thank you for confiding in me.
Sure.
We are in this together.
It seems we are.
And with that, Myra sits on the floor and starts to do her trancy thing.
So Valos goes to the door, opens it, looks back, sees her, kind of sitting and, kind of tuning out, and quietly closes the door as he goes out, and then he'll go out and look for Draggart. So he'll head topside, I guess. I'm assuming that's where he is, probably.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
All right. We'll split cut then over to Milo first.
All right. I guess I'd find Humble Guard.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, and try to suss out what his destination is in Highland.
All right. You can actually probably find him in the second deck galley, which is more of a gathering area, a social area than the third level food galley. He's one that is somewhat boisterous and not commands attention, but more so demands it. Always wants to be either in the center of attention or within the circle of attention. So he definitely will not be one that's too hard to find. So exactly how do you make your approach with him?
Where is he in the galley?
He is sitting at a table, kind of off center of the room, sitting with a handful of other guests on the ship.
Are they just chatting?
Yeah, they're just going through stories, comparing. It sounds like if you get a little close, they're comparing their current business dealings, and while not really going into detail, just more hinting at the amount of wealth that each dealing is gathering them and what they've done in the last few months. And you'll hear one of them mention, oh yes, I commissioned a dealing between the Lowfields and Archway, and and another one. I heard about that. That actually ended up turning out pretty bad for you, didn't it? Oh no, it was actually, we managed to break just above even. Dude, it's pretty tough situation out there, but and just passing stories back and forth.
All right. So I'm gonna, as I'm walking over to the table. Normally Milo's very reserved, very like I said, he's usually very bored. But as I'm walking over the table, my demeanor completely changes, and like I kind of, my eyes light up, and I have like this big shit-eating grin on my face, and I stumble over to the table, and I say in a very exasperated voice, like, "Oh my God, you're the humble guard. I'm trying to break into business myself and shipping, and I was just wondering if you had any pointers. I'm much too small to be any sort of competition, but just any pointers to get a small business going would be great."
And one of the guys at the table, this slender man with a long, thick but kind of scruffy beard, just kind of glares at you. You've bring it up to the table and almost cut him off mid-sentence. And Humble Guard at first, wide when he hears his own name. But then when you're like, I'm in trade myself, and all of a sudden he's like, another one asking for handouts. So. but you kind of try to talk him a little bit. So why don't you go ahead and give me an intellect check. Again, anything that kind of has to do with social engineering or anything with the trade organizations that you think you might be able to sneak in there could help you.
Well, since I am an information broker and I do deal and trade a lot, I would say that might be something. Because I'm pretending, but not pretending.
Mm-hmm.
But I rolled an 8.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you, like you said, you're kind of telling a half truth there, and you managed to drop in kind of a couple of key phrases and pick out certain dealing. You kind of sneak in like, oh, I heard what you did with the recent shipment in Redstone. It was actually really good, and you managed to sweet talk him up enough that he's like, yes, why don't you take a seat and listen, learn something.
Perfect. So I guess as the conversation kind of rolls by, and like I assume he's giving me like little like pointers here and there, like when to fucking do whatever it is that fucking traders do or whatever.
Yeah, he kind of during every story he kind of leans over and whispers to you, so you can hear, and also some people around you can hear like what this person did wrong and how clearly the issue was that he approached the broker first and without actually having this, and he overbid on this when he really should have downplayed it because this person doesn't like a hard bargain and all this kind of stuff. So he's kind of giving you a little bit of pointers here and there as all these guys start trading stories.
All right, and so and as the conversation rolls on, I kind of want to I don't know how to word it without sounding demanding at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like kind of like slip it in and ask like, oh, I heard that you don't normally travel up the Highland. What brings you this way? Where are you heading and stuff like that? Just like like kind of like small talk, trying to get to know him a little bit.
All right. Yeah, well, a little bit of time has passed, and he kind of appears to be opening up to you slightly. Why don't you go ahead and give me another intellect check on that?
I got an 8.
We're going to set it. What was that? What did you say?
I said I got an 18.
An 8? Jesus Christ.
I did 3 18s tonight.
Right?
Yeah.
You're at this point, you've been like taking mental notes and gathering information on him, and you're able to kind of play it back. And he's really started to kind of open up, and even at one point, like puts his arm around you, and it's like, that's and and so he's clearly decided to at least for now, kind of take you under his wing. And he's very free flowing with his information. So when you kind of hit him with this, he doesn't even think twice about it. And like, oh, the issues up north that everybody has been hearing about. Morin put in for a shipment, and he was very specific in what he wanted and the quantities. I tried to upbid him a little bit and upsell, and I said that tried to get him some power sources and all this kind of stuff, things that we have in reserve. But he was very insistent that he just wanted the hardware, and we normally this isn't what we deal in, but he very much wanted us because we can, while we don't deal in the hardware, we definitely have the capacity and the ability to deal in high quantity. Ultimately what he wanted with us, and we were more than compliant. He actually insisted that he give us 5% more than the bid that we put in, and on the dealings that I would personally oversee this shipment. I'm actually to travel all the way north to Abingdon to meet him personally. Is completed.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Milo's thrilled, and he he gives them some congratulatory phrases and sayings and blah blah blah. Just kind of stokes his ego a little bit more, like just trying to play him up and stuff like that. And I'll let the conversation go on a little bit longer, and I will then make my way out of the table and head back to my quarters, probably, I guess, at this point.
Oh, very nice. All right. How about Decurro? So you want to head down to the storage, correct?
Yeah,
and check out one of
Humble Guard's in one of his crates. See if I can bust into it and see what's inside of it.
Sounds good. All right. So you're there. Like I said, there are in the beginning there are people who come in and out of the cargo hold kind of frequently. So it is, and also you have, so it isn't awkward for you to be there.
I'm
however,
checking out my shipment, absolutely, and I'm
exactly.
also this is what I do, so I feel like I can look as inconspicuous about going about this as possible.
Yes. So with that being said, though, let's see exactly how inconspicuous you can be in actually breaking into somebody else's cargo.
Right.
So there will be people there. However, most people don't know who or what other people's cargo is. You kind of get most people suss out exactly what's right around them.
Mm-hmm.
Look over, you see someone's emblem, it's there. So it's not going to be too difficult. However, to actually get into somebody's cargo without making a fuss about it and without gaining too much attention is going to be a little bit complicated. So we'll do a speed test. However, anything you feel that you might be able to use to get attention off of you or play this as coolly as possible, we can work out.
I am going to use a level of effort.
Okay.
So I've made that. And I... what's this? Yeah, probably nothing. I mean, just background assets.
Mhm.
Background asset would be the only other thing. As far as
All
like,
right. What would you be able to? Do you think there was anything that you could pull out there?
What do you mean? Oh, I mean, well, there's definitely been times where, I have been in pursuit of something that another one or two groups have been in pursuit of, and it's been to my benefit that I work alone mostly when I'm in that sort of situation. So using my kind of instincts and knowledge of different terrains allows me to kind of get the better of some of these groups that are not so used to the areas that I'm used to delving into. Does that work?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're kind of able to gather enough of the information, see the people around you, and kind of wait for the appropriate moment. And also, you're kind of, like you said too, like everybody. While you're not famous, you're not a big dealer like a lot of these high names and these families. People still are aware of you, and you are kind of a loner and all that. So you being by yourself isn't really a surprise. And so when they kind of see you with your own, your stuff and struggling to get it open, and like, fucking Decuros.
Yeah.
So they kind of give you your space too. So it's not necessary. So you're able to get into there's one of his smaller boxes that's kind of near you, so you don't have to travel too far away from your own stuff.
Nice.
And now, what exactly do you want to do? Are you just prying it open right there to check on it, or are you planning on dragging it back? This is probably a box that's maybe like 2 by 2, so it's a little bit on the smaller side.
I'd probably grab one of my little throwing knives and just kind of discreetly just pry it open. Just
all right, sounds good.
Pry at one of the seams.
Right on. All right, so yeah, in this box you actually see that there is wooden boxes that are about a foot long and probably only about 4 inches wide. Like a 4-inch square, but then a foot long. And there's easily probably about 3 to 4 dozen of them packed in here with straw kind of sparsely thrown in between to add some padding.
So it's more boxes.
Yeah, basically.
I'd grab one and just kind of check it out and see if I could get into it, I guess.
Yeah. There's no lock on or anything. It looks like it's actually just kind of like a split in half, so that the lid kind of just opens up completely and it comes in half.
What's in that?
Yeah. And it's ammunition. So you see bullets just lining inside the case of this.
Are there any particular kind of ammunition, or is it just? I mean, would I be able to even tell?
I don't know. Would you?
Probably.
Is there anything that you?
Actually, no. I don't know if I would be that knowledgeable of particular ammunition. It just looks like just standard, just bullets.
Yeah, it looks. It's a kind of lower caliber, so it's they're kind of small bullets. It doesn't look like, it looks like maybe it would be like for a handgun or something like that. But you can't place like an exact anything like that that's made it. It's also, this is still, while it's not new tech, firearms have been around for a long time. They're still not like mass production of anything like this. So all the bullets are still handmade, and they're they're crafted to specific weapons. So it's not like you can, you're not going to pick up like a 45 caliber bullet, any 45 caliber gun. Like you're going to need like a craftsman makes bullets for his specific guns.
Shit. So, from what I can see, how many rounds do I look like they're in this box? Not just the
like
little box, but like the whole package.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Okay.
Just in this one cargo box alone.
And how many cargo boxes do I see just visually that look like they match this kind of box?
Dozens.
Okay. All right. I discreetly just put the thing back and close up the box and just try to make it look exactly as it did before I got there. And I'll just think about that.
Sounds good.
Shit.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Decurro has done that. We have Milo sneaking information out of, and we also have. So we'll go now to Valos.
All right.
Said that you wanted to go check out the captain.
Yep.
All right. So do you basically, how exactly do you approach this? Are you literally just going to walk right up to him and start asking him questions, or are you playing the slow game?
I mean, he doesn't have anything to hide. Like Milo said, he's going home. So I mean, he has that. He has reason to, find out, what's going on. He's ostensibly has concern for family. So like if Draggart is up, working the rudder, the wheel. Like I don't know if he's busy, he wouldn't bother him. He might like catch his eye and be like, "Hey, I'll talk to you later." If he looks like he's just kind of hanging out, or it's not taking his full attention, he'll just kind of saunter over and begin with a little bit of small talk.
Yeah. No, I mean this is a travel that he makes constantly, and the crew takes care of most of the stuff. So at this point, he's more of a supervisory position, and if anything major happens, he'll step in, or if there's any issues, he comes in. He deals it. He supervises what's going on, and he is the liaison for the ship. So he also deals a lot with the passengers and everything. So. Granted, he most of the time turns people to like if they come up to them and like, there's a problem with my cargo. He's like, you need to talk to Pivel. Like,
all right. Yeah. So he'd walk up then and be, it's been a pretty smooth trip so far.
The bitter mother is holding in there fast.
That's not a bad ship. We, pretty smooth. Don't feel it rocking around. This is I think next time I make it back and forth up this way, I'll definitely be on the bitter mother.
And he gives a little bit of laugh, and he's like, a bad ship she definitely is. That's why we had to put a little bit extra coin in the new stabilizers that we have on her.
I'm sure none of that coin came from Decurro, right?
Don't even get me started on him.
Yeah, I know all about it.
No.
So,
but he's a good man. He pays off eventually.
Yeah, eventually. It's a long game.
Yeah.
So you're up here quite often. I have to say I've been somewhat reticent into my familial connections. So I'm originally from Highland, and with the unsettled situation that we're hearing about, what can you tell me about what's been going on up here?
To tell you the truth, I haven't really been up that much myself. I make my travels to Southgard. We dock for a couple of days to unload and load, and that's about it. Last I was up was probably about 2 months ago, and there was only the beginning discussion of division within the land. At this point, though, the rumors that I've heard from it's starting to get pretty nasty. While things haven't exactly come to a head yet, and peace talks seem to be going at a pace, things are very unsteady at this point.
What seems to be the biggest issue? Have you heard what's causing such a row up here?
Oh, well, mostly you have the settlements up north, the territory there, and that of Abingdon, which wishes to unify the rest of the territories, and they want to be under one flag, under one name. But the Freelands to the south, it's their history. They've been through that, and they've held fast to their individuality. I'm sure you know about this. But
yes,
it's they want to hold on to that, and they will not give it up for anything. There's it's a terrible fright at this point.
Is Morin commanding the forces to the north?
His name has been thrown around, honestly, but it's something fairly new that's come up to me. Not a name that I've been all too familiar with up until the last few months.
I knew him when he was younger. Can't say that I'm all too surprised.
He is a decent up and comer. He says, at the very least, he says that he wants peace, and that unifying the lands will stabilize things. He says that the Freelands, they're chaos, and while there is happiness in the chaos, the vast majority of the people could be much better off if there was more stability, more law within the lands.
Yeah, sounds like something that he would say. All right. Well, I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to all that.
Indeed, I can only imagine what war would do to our trade.
No, it wouldn't be good. I mean, I guess those trading in arms and weapons of war will make a killing. No pun intended.
I can only imagine. But unfortunately, too, they can only foresee the naval opportunities that would come up, and I'm not sure I could risk the ship going into those territories at that point.
So to be hands off for you, then you wouldn't try to make a little extra coin yourself?
No, absolutely, and I am not in the market for making a little extra off of the suffering of those people.
That's fair. You're a good man.
Yeah. And granted, I don't choose sides, and I will deliver what people ask of me. But I'm definitely not of one to transport simply for the sake of it.
No, man of morals. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't believe that I've seen you on previous ships before up here.
I keep a fairly low profile.
Yeah. Is your home the reason that you caught wind on the vessel, or do you actually have business?
No, Decurro and I go quite a ways back, and he had said that he had a shipment, a package that he was delivering, and I thought it was high time I made it home and visited the family. It's been a number of years since I've made the trek, and my parents are elderly, so.
Yes, I can only imagine. Luckily, I have family just outside of Rudstow, so I get to see them quite often. I can only imagine what it was like if I hadn't seen my parents in all that time. So, must be nice for you to get back.
Yes, hopefully it'll be a nice respite. my travels keep me busy, and it's not always easy to get home. Travel across the ocean being what it is.
Very true.
Although, had I known the Bitter Mother was such a smooth ship, I might have made this trip a little sooner.
Well, with all the precious cargo that we handle in, she was getting a bit. We need to pump a little extra coin into it to make a little extra. So feels like it was worth it. At least she's handling like a beauty at this point.
Indeed, she is. Were you a merchant captain before? Were you in the military yourself?
Oh no. Trade has always been in my family, at least for as long as I can record it back. There are ramblings that way back when we dealt with some maritime warfare, but there are times when it's almost impossible to get around. But no, not lately. It's been in peace. We are able to simply do our deliveries, and that is all. And that's what my family has done for quite a number of generations at this point, at least back until my great-great-grandfather.
All right. Good way to make some honest coin. Hopefully, a potential civil war will not disrupt your business. Not only will the people in Highland suffer, but I feel the rest of the islands and lands around here will suffer just as much.
Indeed, war tends to spread its fingers out to all the reaches, but hopefully it won't come to that, at least.
Fingers crossed.
We can all hope.
I thank you for your time. I don't want to keep you too much from your duties.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. As I to make it back to your family safely and find them in safe position.
Thank you. He will wander away.
Very nice. All right. So we'll say that you guys eventually kind of meander on back, finding you can find yourselves pretty much either on the deck or in the galley or back in your quarters. I know there's probably a little bit of information sharing that you wish to have.
Mm-hmm. What time of the day is it after all this?
It's probably early evening at this point, so you're probably looking at about 3 or 4 o'clock, a little bit before dinner time.
I would go back to the room to grab Myra and then go and get something to eat. I don't know how easy or difficult it is for her to be out by herself, so she throws her hood up and she's with me or one of the other guys, then I figure we're not gonna have a problem.
She welcomes the chance to go get some food.
Yeah, he'll scrawl a note and like throw it on the floor, like down in the galley, in case they come back here first.
Right.
And then grab a table, off in a corner, as much as we can.
Very nice.
I mean, not that it's that big.
Right. Yeah. Where will Decurro head to? Is he gonna try to meet up with Milo first, or is he heading back to Valos?
I'd probably be steering clear of the galley, but yeah, I would probably want to share what I found with Milo.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say that that the two of you managed to meet up.
Milo.
Yeah.
Milo, come here.
Why are you whispering? There's no one else around.
Oh, all right. Well, just in case. Hey, I got into one of the crates, like you asked.
Yeah, what'd you find?
It's all munitions, man. I don't know. It's very weird. Humble Guards, they never were into this. I mean, there was hundreds of bullets in this one box, and there were dozens of boxes. I mean, Morin is buying all of his artillery, all of his, ammunition from the Humble Guards now?
That's what it seems like. I wonder how we can use this to our advantage.
Well, I don't know if Dragger. Well, I think we already covered this, but I don't know if. Well, yeah, we're already on. I don't think Dragger would be too happy about this.
Right. But how can we make a profit off of it?
Well,
We could sell the information to the other side, or no, that's all I got.
we'd have to find the other side first, wouldn't we? Who is the other side? I don't even know. I mean, that's what Valos was trying to figure out, right? What we were heading into.
That's true. Yeah, let's go find Valos.
All right. I try to hold Milo's hand as we skip off to find Valos.
Nope.
All right. You're right.
Oh, also, I did forget to mention one little thing. When I left the galley, when I left Humble Guard, as I left the table, I shook in disgust, because it was just it was such an awful thing that he put his arm around me and stuff like that.
Physical contact.
Yeah, but I just wanted to recap that because I forgot to mention.
Nice.
So yeah, we go off to find Valos.
All right. So you go back to the Valos in your quarters, and you go in. You find the note scribbled on a piece of paper in the middle of the floor.
Oh, they went to the galley. Milo, I can't go to the galley. I don't want to run into Horcrux or Horse shit,
Let's go.
whatever his name is.
Horcrux.
Poor crust sounds like
Horcrux.
venereal disease or something.
Horcrow.
Yeah.
You got some horror crust on your nose.
I tell you what, I'll put up my bandana, and so that he can't. If he's there, he won't see us, and we'll go meet him over there. That's fine.
Yeah, because you're the most inconspicuous when you have all that stuff on. But yes, let's go.
All right. No hand. And that was a no to the hand holding, right? No, a no.
A hard no.
A hard no. Okay. I was hoping for a soft no, but I guess hard. I'll live with it. Okay, that's fine.
Right. Yeah. So Milo and Decurro trundle into or Milo and a mysterious stranger wander into the galley.
I see them come in, and I just put my hand up and wave them over.
There he is.
Yeah. I'm gonna look around. Is Holdcorth in the galley?
No, you look around and you can't see him.
All right, perfect. So yeah, as we walk in, I'm like, "Look, he's not even here. You're good. You can take out the thing."
Oh, Horcrow. Okay, all right, good. All right, let's go see Valos. Hey, Valos.
Hey, Decurro.
Hey, Myra. Good to see you made it out.
Why do you have that bright pink scarf around you?
Oh, just in case Hormery was here. What's his name? It doesn't matter. I'll take the scarf off. Okay, good. All right. Hey, Valos, guess what?
What's that?
Humble Guards transporting thousands of bullets and other ammunition at the very least. That's what I found.
Okay.
That was only about a dozen of the boxes. I mean, it was just they're all just full.
Okay, full fire. Well, that makes sense, I guess. I talked to Draggart. He said the situation was unstable. That Commander Morin was in the north Abington, and they wish to unite all of Highland together. But the Freelands to the south are fiercely independent and always have been, and are resisting the overtures. There are peace talks currently, but I suspect they're more for show than anything else. Draggart himself has said that he would ship whatever was required to ship. He had no stake in anything, so his business will continue as such as long as the waters remain free.
Decurro, you are concerned about bullets when you've seen what you are transporting can do?
I didn't know until you cut my hand open and slapped it on the thing that it could actually do. That it was like a weapon itself. I mean, as far as I knew from Milo, this was just a power source of some kind. Those are actual weapons. So no. The answer is no.
This ship contains weapons and a tool of a god or some greater being. I think we're screwed. Or rather, they are.
At least, this is not safe. The ship isn't safe. That's for sure.
Well, we've had no trouble so far.
Well, now I'm out of character. Not all the boxes that I saw weren't of these like bullet varieties. There were some other ones as well, right?
Oh yeah, these were just kind of the smallest boxes of the group. So they range anywhere from this kind of 2 to 2.5 foot cube size, all the way up to around 5 or so feet.
Okay, yeah. So those are the smaller boxes. The smaller boxes got bullets. The bigger boxes are going to have something else, probably a lot worse.
I can help you look into them.
Yes, we could look into them.
If there's a connection, I need to know.
I would assume that the bullets require guns, and the guns would be in the larger boxes.
That girl looks at Milo. Milo, I'm going to break into some more boxes.
I didn't think that was your thing.
I didn't think there was anything I could possibly say to stop you, so I just shrugged. Yeah,
I was just running by. I was just running to buy it. I thought, okay, no, it's fine. I got it. We'll do it.
I'm not your boss.
Milo.
Sure?
Uh-huh.
But if this guy wants the ammunition and the weapons and this gift you have been given.
He wants my gift? No one gets my gift.
That's not what the Scullery Boys said.
Milo, I know that you've been contracted to deliver the power source. Are there other options at this point as opposed to supporting a civil war?
No, but that's just because I'm contracted and trying to break contracts over, petty things like having a heart.
He just he knows he's not going to make any headway, so he's just like, oh fuck, all right.
Yeah, it's really tough to beat a guy who just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, all right.
How much more time until we land?
You got probably another couple of weeks.
All right. Well, at the very least, I'll be trying to sneak into some more boxes.
Like crate boxes, yes.
Yeah, the crates.
As we're defining your character for you, sorry. But
Oh, hey, it's all organic. Let it flow.
So maybe this is a good place to call it next time. I'm sorry. I'm like intruding in your lines, just like
Oh,
that
no.
wasn't my place.
I was literally about to say the same exact thing. So
Yep, no, that's good. Yeah, good session. I think like the first session was a little kind of like everybody sort of trying to feel things out. And I
That
feel
was
like
my
this one
fault for having such a shitty connection.
Well,
Ownership.
new game, new characters. I mean, it's a combo of things. I think tonight went really well.
Yeah, I feel like it was a fresh start, like too.
I feel like this episode ends with all of us except for Milo cheering, like, "Yes, we're gonna break into boxes. We're gonna do this." And I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
We're like a team. We're gonna solve this
His hand
mystery.
rubbing his temples.
There's no mystery.
What have I done? We're gonna solve this non-mystery. A mystery that Milo has already solved. Like,
I'm just letting you guys like try to figure it out on your own. I'll be like, I'm not gonna help them. They'll get there eventually.
Milo's like, if you give a man a fish.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Good.
Thanks to Jesse for running.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thanks to Jesse for sounding like a robot the entire night.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, it's Cypher system, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yep.
He is the god that Myra is praying to.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Now
There
it's
you go.
just got a whole lot deeper.
all those
I am
voices in the
all
head.
gods.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Well,
Until next time.
Yep.
Right.
Cheers.
thanks
Cheers.
everybody for checking it out. Catch you next time.
Later.